Hello everybody, welcome to Faithful Friday. This is Stephen E. To anybody that is new to this channel, what we do on this channel is we do Food Review Wednesdays and we do Inspirational Mondays and Faithful Fridays. And we kind of talk a lot about like the law of attraction, just about working on yourself, fixing yourself, and being able to manifest the life that you want to live, because ultimately you're in control of this story. You decide what's get written down into your book. So what we do here is we talk about, some choices that you can make that are different from whatever the past may be. So today what I want to talk about is paying attention. Do you pay attention? Do you pay attention to what goes on in your life? Do you pay attention to the clues that come up in front of you? Because sometimes if stuff isn't going right, then we got to look at ourselves and say, okay, what am I doing to get this result right here? What do I constantly keep doing to end up with this result right here? And if things are just constantly going the same, then what we need to do is pay attention and figure out what we need to do different to get a different result. Because obviously if you keep ending up with the same result, and that result may be, no change, no growth, not moving forward, not being able to manifest the life that you want, not being able to move in the direction that you see here. Because remember, if you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So if that's not coming forward, then we have to pay attention, because life will give you clues to what's going on. Like if you're in the same environment that's a negative environment, because a negative ground will just grow some weeds, and those weeds will just keep growing until you can't even see your vision. You can't even see your yard. You can't even see beyond the fence. So we have to pay attention to what's in front of us. We have to pay attention to what's being fed into us. We have to pay attention to our surroundings, because all this is part of the journey. We have to pay attention to this. We are all students of this life, and we're all here to create. Okay? So pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to the clues that are in front of you. Because, like I said before, you're the author of your book. So if you want something to come in your life, pay attention to what doesn't work, so you can start implementing tools that do work for you. Just because something works for your friend, or something works for your spouse, or something works for your cousin or your family or other family members, doesn't necessarily mean that's going to work for you. Pay attention. You may take some tips from them, and then you may mold it into a system that works for you, but pay attention, because sometimes what worked for them, you don't know the road, how they got to where they are, because of the system that they implemented. Their system works for them. They wrote their story. Your story isn't going to match their story. Your story is your own. You're very unique. So pay attention. Pay attention to what's going right too. Because what goes right, you can write that down, and then you can share your stories with other people, so other people can kind of get tips, so then they can kind of mold their stories. Pay attention to what's going on. When stuff is crumbling, when people are speaking negative into your life, when relationships aren't going right, pay attention. Pay attention, because if the same result keeps coming up and up and up and up and up, then why are you doing the same thing to manifest the same result? So remember, the steering wheel is yours. You can turn it that way, you can turn it that way, you can go forward, you can go backward. It's up to you. Pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on in your life. I got an exciting weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to be in Massachusetts. I'm going to be participating in the 48-hour film contest with Team Classic Stanley, and this is my second year working with this team. And what I like about this team is this is a very positive team. This is a very uplifting team. They all support one another, and then sometimes in the acting field, it can be about, one person makes it about them, or another person makes it about them, or even in the film and the writing field. But one thing I can say about this team, it's a team. It's a collective effort, and we all get along. We all love working together. We all love uplifting each other. So I'm so glad to be working with this great team for a second year, Classic Stanley, with the Counterfeit Cow Productions. So I'm glad to take that ride up there, and I'm glad to participate in this challenge. The 48-hour film challenge is, like on Friday, like today, they pulled their genre the genre, the tagline that has to be used in the film. So they go through that process. Then, you know, then they need to go back to their teams. They need to discuss it, write the scripts. Then Saturday, get all the actors together, get the locations, get the shots, start filming. So it's a rush, and then they got to have it in by Sunday. So it's a lot of work. You know, some people think putting a film together is like so simple, but there's a lot that goes into making a film, creating a story. You know, does it make sense? You know, do the actors and the characters that are in the story, do they have a connection? Because sometimes you can put an actor in a role and they're not necessarily connecting with that person. But so, you know, and this is for the actors that are out there, this is just for anybody out there. Sometimes you're in a situation and you just don't have chemistry, or you don't click with that person. Not that you always have to be around like-minded people, because I like being around different people, and I like learning from others, because we weren't all created to be the same. We were all created to be different. We were all created to be unique, to be able to bring our uniqueness and our talents to this planet right here, and to be able to do great work, and to be able to leave a legacy. Now, legacy sometimes is money, but legacy also is sometimes your words and your wisdom that you can leave someone so they can pass it to the next generation. Because if you know your history, you won't repeat your history. You'll become greater than your history, and you'll make some history of your own. Everybody that is here is creating some sort of history. Pay attention. Pay attention. Somebody in your family created some sort of history. Pay attention. Somebody in your family, you know, was a Rosa Parks. Somebody in your family was a Martin Luther King. Somebody in your family was a person that aspired to be a president. You know, pay attention. Pay close attention, because everybody has greatness in them. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a uniqueness about them. That includes me. That includes you there. So don't forget that about yourself as you're going on this journey to manifest the life that you want to manifest. Because ultimately, you want to be happy. Ultimately, you want to be purposeful. Ultimately, you want to live the way that you want to live. Pay attention. So whatever's going wrong, erase what's there. Rewrite the story. The past is the past. It's already done. It no longer exists. So that's the greatest thing about it, that the past no longer exists. So live in the now. Live for today. What can you do today so your tomorrow will be better, or your now can be great? You know what I'm saying? So I thank you all for joining me on this Faithful Friday. Give me a thumbs up and share this video with somebody that it can help and that it can inspire to go to the next level in life. You know, whoever it may be. You know, if there's that family member who doesn't know how to get to the next level, you know, let's talk about it. Let's open up the dialogue. Leave some comments below, you know, so we can all share with each other. We can all talk. I love connecting with all the people here. You know, Isra, I know Isra from Periscope. So shout out to Isra. Mama Carliss, you know I love you. I'm always shouting out to you. You know, Mayhem Beauty and Mama Carliss, you know, they are family, and they have been great to me here on YouTube. So, and if I'm forgetting anybody, you know, I love you. You know, I'm thinking about you. So, you know, remember, you're made for greatness. And as always, let's do this.